POMcast, Thursday, September 24th. 2 days to kick off. Florida Gators versus the Ole Miss Rebels in Vaught-Hemingway Stadium on ESPN. Announcers are Joe Tessitore and Greg McElroy and Marty Smith on the sideline. I'm really excited to be here today, and this is going to kind of be a free-flowing podcast, but first, we're going to take care of some business. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheStephenWillis or at Ole Positively. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/POMcast, or we have a group there at Positively Ole Miss. You can go to YouTube and subscribe and hit the bell, please, at Positively Ole Miss. We have a premiere today of Around the SEC on YouTube. That'll provide the perfect opportunity. It's also on Facebook and through our audio sources as well. You can subscribe to Twitch or follow us at Twitch, Old Positively, all one word, or Positively Ole Miss, all one word. We're also on all the podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. We're working on iHeartRadio, and we're working on Pandora and Google Podcast. And if you want to listen to it, basically you can. So this is an excellent avenue for you to receive information. That's what we're trying to do. And we're still at the low budget phase of Positively Ole Miss. We're looking at adding $20,000 worth of equipment in the next year. Like I said, I am uniquely positioned to be able to do this for you. Other schools would not have the ability to do that because I'm looking at, retiring in my mid-40s. I need something to do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to provide information for you. But we're working on that, and once we get all that stuff bought, you'll see it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be like nothing you've ever seen. I mean, we're blazing a social media trail with no destination as an avenue for you to consume media. We're going to bring the media to you. I'm not going to ask you to go to a second location. We're not going to extort you for money. But it's going to be there. All right. In this first segment, I just kind of want to talk about Otis Reese a little bit. He's a perceived starter in the secondary, waiting on his waiver eligibility, which apparently Georgia is opposing, as they are basically opposing all immediate eligibility waivers. And I just don't like this direction. This unintended consequences to get immediate eligibility and to throw Georgia under the bus, or Georgia to hurt the kid by denying the waiver eligibility. All this could have gone away by the immediate transfer rule being passed. All of this. You could have had a situation where none of this matters. Now, this makes me worry that when the one-year transfer rule passes, there are going to be coaches citing competitive advantage that are going to deny waivers. All of a sudden, that old school that you're leaving has control over your life, and I do not like that. I do not like that at all. Players should be able to go wherever they want to go and play. Now, it shouldn't be a serial offense type deal where you keep transferring every 3 years, but if you transfer that first time, it should just be a blanket waiver. You've got eligibility. There's no 1 year you have to sit out. The second time you transfer, maybe. The third time, definitely, But what Georgia has done And they've built a history of this. Going back to the Justin Fields incident, the Cade Mays incident, he talks about a toxic environment. Now Otis Reese claims validated by his teammate in the car that the police incident actually happened. I mean, it's hard to deny it. But since Georgia's fighting and Georgia gets their way, if they were getting somebody to come in, they would be granted immediate eligibility. I mean, you're looking at 2 quarterbacks this year that would have gotten it. Now, I don't understand what's going on with Dean Leonard, and I still think he's going to be eligible by Saturday, but there's some bizarre world stuff happening where the NCAA approves it and the SEC is holding on to it. I don't want to say it. I do not want to say it. But there is some protectionism going on in the league. Protecting Florida, protecting Georgia, protecting Alabama, protecting LSU, in hopes of having a playoff spot when all this year gets done. All of a sudden, Otis Reese can't get a waiver. Dean Leonard can't get a waiver. Why not? This year does not count. This is a consequence-free year. Your eligibility clock does not run. Why not? The only answer is it's protectionism. It's the SEC protecting their blue bloods against their perceived middle and lower teams. I mean, it's upsetting. It really is. Because we've gotten to the point where those need to be approved. All the practices before the first game are over. All the practices before that is over. Make them eligible. Free Otis Reese. Free Dean Leonard. All right, segment 2, POMcast. Stick around.
Only 10% of us get enough daily exercise.
And that number is dropping.
Nearly 30% of us are overweight or obese.
We spend 6 hours a day in front of a screen. As a result, we now have a shorter life expectancy than our parents.
But give us the right start in sports, and we'll never stop.
Learn how at active4life.ca.
Hey, this is Stephen Willis from Positively Ole Miss. We're almost done with this break. We'll be back with good information quite soon.
The military has been in every generation of my family, and so has VA. It wasn't easy for my dad after Vietnam, but VA helped him and my mom get the home they'd always wanted. My grandpa's been coming to VA since World War II. They even helped him lay to rest one of his battle buddies from Normandy. And me, I followed in their footsteps and served with pride. And now that I'm out of the military, the GI Bill's helping me with school. Every generation of my family has served, and VA has served us all.
All right, POMcast, Stephen Willis, right here on Positively Ole Miss. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at the Stephen Willis or at Ole Positively. You can subscribe on YouTube at Positively Ole Miss. Click the bell for notifications. You can subscribe on Facebook at facebook.com/POMcast. And you can follow us on Twitch, Old Positively, all one word. We're also available on all the podcatchers as well. So, the new Around the SEC debuts today. This is Thursday at 2 o'clock. We're also going to re-air that Saturday morning to where it can serve as a pregame show. We're going to try and do it at like 6 a.m. If you guys are going to Oxford or wherever you're going, you can put it on the radio and listen to it on the way, and it can serve as a pregame show and hopefully make the drive a little bit more bearable. Over the course of the week, we've done Florida defense versus Ole Miss offense, Florida offense versus Ole Miss defense. So today, I kind of want to talk about the game management stuff. Now, it should be interesting. Now, you have Lane Kiffin, who is unabashedly about the analytics when it comes to decision making in college football. Sometimes it doesn't seem right, but you go off of analytics. He was on, I think, Pardon My Take yesterday, and he discussed that if it's 3rd and 8 and it's 4th and 4 or less after that 3rd and 8 play, you know you're going to go for it. So call a play to get those 4 yards. Call a play to get those 8 yards. If you don't get it, you punt the ball, you go. If you're 4th and 4 or less, you go for it from that position. That's kind of his style when it comes to game management. It's kind of what he does. Now, I think that his game management style is going to be a little bit off-putting to people. People that, it's 4th and 2, punt the ball. You got 3 downs to get a first down. If you don't, you punt the ball. His style will be a little bit grating to coaches, especially teams that aren't really scorers, that aren't really built for high-octane offense. And Florida, make no mistake, is not built for high-octane offense. They want to beat you, like I said, 21-17, 28-17. That's how they want to win. That's how they're built to win. But Lane Kiffin wants to go. They do tempo everywhere. Get the ball to the official. Go, 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 and hope you make a mistake. Now, the part of that, like we said on the defense, is it's going fast. It's high repetition. It's 10 seconds in between snaps. It's crazy tempo. It's something unlike we have seen at Ole Miss ever. It is fast. So if you're going that quick, just repetition, you're running this, you're running this, you're running this, and then you got the jet sweep, you can see how that tortures linebackers, how it's designed to put them in the wrong position, how it's designed to create false steps. So the combination of going for it and using analytics for game management and his tempo is almost a philosophy in itself that this offense is going to go. We're going to go. We're going to put pressure on you at all points. And that includes 4th down. That includes red zone. You just have to see it. It's going to be extremely fast. And Dan Mullen, God bless him, he's a great coach. He's a fantastic coach. He's not really a tempo coach. He's more of a methodical. He's more of a Tim Tebow coach. They played around, remember, in the Orange Bowl a couple years back because they couldn't stop Oklahoma, who was using tempo, because everything is designed to be methodical. On defense, remember, they want you to play in that 15-yard box. And offense, ideally, they want to feature the power run. And with a quarterback more often than not, though, Kyle Trask is more of a drop back passer, like Tyler Russell in 2012, I believe. So that's worth keeping an eye on. That's kind of a game within the game. The Ole Miss hyper aggressive tempo and style versus Florida's more methodical. That's kind of important to control the states of game, to make the game be played on your terms. Ole Miss wants the game to be frenetic. That's what they train for. They do that every day. That lightning offense against that defense, it is very frenetic. Now, I do have a question about DJ Durkin and Chris Patridge about that amount of play volume. And that's something we need to look at going forward, but it's not something we really need to worry about at the moment. But if that defense holds up and it's a frenetic pace to where advantage Ole Miss, it's going to get interesting. Now, I expect big plays because Ole Miss's defense is designed to be feast or famine. You either stop them or they make a big play. There's going to be a big play made every drive. You're either going to lose 5 yards or you're going to complete a 30-yard pass. I mean, that's just the nature of this hyper-aggressive defense. But Kyle Trask, he has Trayvon Grimes and the other 5-star from Penn State coming in at wide receiver, but they lost a good bit. Kadarius Toney, they need more from him. You heard from David Waters yesterday. They just need more from him within the context of the game, not just his special plays. And yes, every coach designs special plays for people. There's going to be some for Jerry and Ely. You can almost count on that. So it's not really an advantage either or when it comes to coaching. And when we say coaching, we're talking about game management. Whenever Ole Miss is in that position and Florida's in that position, they're both equally good. Lane Kiffin and Dan Mullen are very good at what they do. But whoever wins that ebb and flow contest of game management, if it is very frenetic, if it's fast, it's advantage Ole Miss. If it's very methodical, which now in week 1, it is likely Ole Miss is not going to be as fast as they want to be. And that frenetic pace can be a negative. So if it looks crazy and something happened that looks crazy, it needs to be chalked up to no spring, no fall camp, and just not in yet. Ole Miss won't be Ole Miss until week 5 or 6, just because there's been no spring and no fall camp. They've surrendered basically 40 hours or so of film that they normally use to make a decision on a player or on a defense or on a package. That's the dirty little secret when it comes to football coaches. They are slow to adapt. They need to see it over and over and over again. And eventually they're going to put the person in place to play that position that's going to hurt them the least, not help them the most. That's the dirty little secret of high school football coaches, college football coaches. I'll say that again. They're going to play players that's going to hurt them the least as opposed to help them the most. I know that sounds crazy, especially in today's college football where all these numbers are being put up. But that's how they think. Whenever they make decisions, that's going to be how they think. Because if you put the wrong person out there that hurts you, you're playing 10 versus 11. And the other team has a massive advantage because of that. So just consider that whenever you see a player that flashes but maybe not plays very much. They want players that hurt them the least. So, 4th down, special teams at Ole Miss. Luke Logan won the kicking job. He's got a big-time leg. We haven't seen it, but apparently he has a big-time leg. Mac Brown won the punting job. Good for him. And they're going to go about their business. Hopefully special teams is better this year than it has been. Elijah Moore handling punt returns. I think Jerry and Ely kickoff returns. It's part of being an offensive weapon. I know if a player gets hurt on a special teams play, everybody is going to lose their mind. But this is about putting weapons on the field at all times. It's about not giving the other team a break. It's about pressuring them in all phases of the game. All right. Coming up, segment 3 on Thursday, POMcast, Stephen Willis. Stick around.
You want to answer that, don't you? I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow just inches away. Someone wants to tell you something or ask you something. Oh, come on, answer it already! Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault. Next time, ignore your inner voice. Don't text and drive. A message from Florida's trusted choice independent insurance agents.
Hey, this is Stephen Willis. I just want you to stick around a little longer. We're going to get back to the podcast right after these messages.
Tonight, nearly 40,000 veterans across the country are homeless. These men and women have pledged to serve our nation, and now we must serve them. Landlords across the country have helped make significant progress in reducing veteran homelessness by making housing available, but there is more that we can do to bring our veterans home. Visit www.va.gov/homeless to see how you can get involved. And if you are a veteran and you are experiencing homelessness, please call 877-4AID-VET. Thank you.
Stephen Willis, POMcast, right here, coming at ya, right here on Positively Ole Miss. Wish we had numbers that we could put, like 102.5 Positively Ole Miss. Coming at you. Anyway, we got a bunch of stuff for you coming up this weekend. We've got, around the SEC should go, like I said, last segment at about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. We're going to repost that just so you get the notification and the reminder that it's there. And you can use that as a pregame show for this weekend's games. Whether you are going to the game or you are home gating, you can have it on. You can celebrate football, and we can all have a good time together. After the game tomorrow, or Saturday, probably around 4 or 4:30, show We've Got Notes. That's going to be our little post-game quick hitter. About 10, 15 minutes talking about what went on during the game. Eventually, we're going to grow that into a half-hour show, and we're going to have guests. But right now, we're just going to do me, and that's going to have to be enough. I'm sorry. But We've Got Notes immediately. Well, not immediately after the game, but it'll go up in the hour or so after the game. But when it comes to Ole Miss football, I mean, we can wait an hour because we have a great day of SEC football. I mean, the games were designed to show protectionism. We talked about that earlier, but Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi State, or LSU, Florida, all playing new coaches, that are going to be struggling to get their feet wet, to find their footing in SEC football. Yeah, this was designed to be the closest proximity to the FCS first game of the year to get their feet wet. This is all about protecting the playoff. And you could probably see that with the transfers as well. Like I said, they're denying them left and right. It's crazy. And it's just bad. But more pictures came out yesterday of Vaught-Hemingway Stadium and the powder blue paint job that is going in the end zones. And I tell you, it looks fantastic. It just does. There are going to be people that don't like change because they just don't like change, no matter what it is. And this isn't a replacement. This is an addition. People need to understand that. Additions are fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Your chosen uniform is not going away. Now, the odds of it appearing on a certain Saturday might be getting smaller because we have more clothes than our closet and no need to wear the same two things over and over again. Now we can mix it up. We need a white helmet. I need to see the white helmet. White helmet, powder blue uniform, white pants. That's what I want. That's what I want. White helmet, powder blue uniforms, our jersey, white pants. They already have the powder jersey, and apparently they're marketing red underneath it. That kind of looks cool. It's kind of the opposite of 2015 Bama, where they use powder blue underneath it, underneath the red. Now, I do not know what this means for the navy blue helmets. I'll be the first to admit that. I do not know what this means. They started out practicing them. They could be sending them off to paint them. And that's where the white helmet will come from. There's a chance. If you look at the patch on the red jersey, the accent color in there is powder blue. That is an indication that they want to wear powder helmets as much as possible. Which, with every new coach, comes a little tweak to the uniform. This one is going to be no different. But that powder blue helmet, best helmet in football, they're going to use that as much as they can, I think. Just need to see what it looks like on the field. Just need to see what it looks like on the field. Because if it looks bad, and they're probably going to go back to red pretty quick. But there's a lot of jerseys in their toolkit. I like the navy with the white on white. I also like the powder with the white on white. There's not too many uniform combinations that I do not like. I like change. I like to see something new. I'm always looking for that path to being innovative. I think we need to do that. I think whenever we act like we're Alabama, we're selling ourselves short because we have the best colors in college football. Let's use them in all different ways. Anyway, that's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.